you are the Baron in this scenario. And I know you've kind of heard, because your friend Kira, who did it last time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the concept is relatively simple, and it's just totally chill. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know, I mean, did Kira tell you anything about it?
Yeah, a little bit about it. I mean, she said it was pretty chill and relaxed. I mean, you're a great host.
You're too kind.
Yeah, but no, I think it's nice, a little relaxed conversation.
It's a cool thing. I think it's really cool, especially because, like, being at a school like Franciscan, well, every school has sports, you know, but especially when you're a school at Franciscan, ideally the culture of the sport is way different. And that's what I've kind of learned from talking to all, like, the past two, Kira and Josh, is that was the most, because I'd always ask me, like, so what was, like, the difference between the sports, like, the teams that you're on and maybe high school, and they, like, went to Catholic schools and stuff like that. But still, there's something unique here at Franciscan, and really that's, like, the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that's the main reason why anyone comes to this school. At the end of the day, it does boil down to, like, what's being taught, but especially the community.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, like, this show started to ramble on for a long time.
No.
It sort of just, like, came to my mind.
Yeah, because I even remember, like, back to high school, like, a lot of guys, like, play, like, either 2 or 3 sports, and they have, like, different, like, they got different, like, set of guys for, like, the fall sport, like, say, like, football or soccer. And then some guys play, like, a spring sport, and that's, like, a whole different, like, you hang out with whole different guys. But I guess here, it's, like, you only really have time to play one sport, so it's kind of just, like, consistent.
Well, do you also mean by that, like, they would sort of switch up, kind of, like, between seasons?
Yeah, so, like, I had a lot of friends, like, I know one of my buddies, he played, like, soccer in the fall, and then he played baseball in the spring, so it's, like, I'm not really seeing him a ton in the fall. I mean, I played 2 sports in high school, so a lot of guys do that.
Well, I mean, may I ask, what did you play?
Yeah, so I played hockey.
You did hockey?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, being up north.
Dude, no way, I had no idea.
Yeah, that was, the hockey was, like, a pretty big,
You are definitely, like, a hockey kind of, and Sagun, for some reason, do you know, like, what's your heritage, brother?
Polish.
It's Polish? Yeah, that's why, like, it seems kind of like, it seems hockey to me. Even though I know you went with baseball at the end of the day, both are good. Yeah. That's cool that you play hockey, though.
Yeah, it's kind of like the north, like, since I'm from the north, it's kind of like the northern culture, I guess.
Yeah. So, did you always play baseball growing up?
Yeah, well, it was, like, one of the first sports I played. So, I'm the youngest of 6, so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I have 4 older brothers and 1 older sister, and pretty much, like, because my dad was big on baseball. You know, he kind of grew up playing baseball, and he taught himself a lot of just fundamentals about baseball. Yeah. So that was kind of, I guess, passed down to, like, my family. Yeah. Because everyone played baseball, and, you know, one of my older brothers, he really kind of, he still plays now, but he
still plays?
Yeah, he just like adult league baseball, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of passed down entirely to me, and
so you just remember, like, you just always played since you were younger?
Yeah. So I started with t-ball, and my dad really, like, invested a lot of time with me personally. Especially, like, going into high school, and you know, just like he really just was kind of like my own personal coach. Yeah. So I think that really grew my passion with baseball, and then I think going back to the hockey part, I started playing hockey maybe, like, a few years after I started playing baseball. So those were kind of
still, like, both really, because those were always. Did you play in sports, or those always kind of like your main 2?
Those were the main 2. Yeah. I kind of had, like, a soccer fling for a few years. Yeah. I feel like soccer is like the core sport.
It is. So you just always remember doing baseball.
Yep.
And that was always, like, you always kind of, it was like a thing that you really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And you were saying that it's your whole family, all your siblings played.
Yeah, but I mean, a majority of my family kind of stopped around like, I don't know, like 8, 9, 10 years old. But, like, me, my other brother Andrew, he kind of kept pursuing it a lot. And, you know, some of my other brothers, like, one of my other brothers played soccer, and my sister did, like, figure skating.
So even though, like, it was kind of, like, you were saying, ingrained in you, instilled in you by your older siblings and your dad, it was still always, like, your thing.
Yeah.
Like, you always chose to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like it was forced on you or anything like that.
No, yeah, I think I enjoyed it a lot, and especially when I was younger, I was pretty good. And yeah, I mean, it's like during the summer, it's like just really fun. And I mean, I feel like with any sport, if you're pretty good at it, you'll enjoy it. And,
you're a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Were you always a pitcher?
I wasn't, no. So I mean, I definitely was like overall always a pitcher, but I played a little bit of first, a little bit of third growing up, like in Little League and my travel teams. Played a lot of first, like in high school.
Okay.
And then, yeah, kind of going into my story, I didn't really like think about playing baseball in college.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how did that come to here?
Yeah, so
and why baseball over hockey? Well, I guess they don't have hockey.
Yeah, the thing about hockey is, especially up north, like it's so competitive. I mean, you got all like top schools like Boston College, and even like D3 schools, like hockey's like really competitive. So it was I was always better at baseball, so hockey was like, I enjoyed hockey so much, and definitely had like a ton of good memories from that. But baseball's kind of always just like, oh, I'm like good at this, and I'll stick with that. So
baseball's your thing. All right, so you're playing baseball at Canisius. First of all, how's that experience?
Yeah.
Talk about the team, your role on the team, maybe like your leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership,
so my high school experience was definitely a little interesting. So I went to Canisius High School in Buffalo. Buffalo native. And yeah, my freshman year, it was kind of just like freshman baseball. It is what it was. And sophomore year was definitely, I was going to be on a pretty good team sophomore year. And COVID kind of.
Was that when you were sophomore?
Yeah. So that was a little rough because I didn't get my sophomore season.
Yeah.
And then junior year, I actually didn't play my junior year because I got injured. I got this thing called vertigo, which I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's basically like this nerve condition in your ear, which kind of throws off your vision.
And your balance too, right?
Your balance, yeah. So that kind of happened like right as the season was going to start for varsity, and I just like I couldn't like stay balanced. You know?
How did that happen then?
I have no clue. Yeah, the doctors didn't have an answer for it.
Is it like an ear infection?
It's like the nerve in your ear gets like inflamed, and it throws off your balance and your vision. So I had to get like PT for my vision. So that was a little rough because like, having to sit out like the whole season, and we actually won our conference championship that year.
Oh, Canisius did?
Yeah. So
they're really good they're pretty good at it.
Yeah. So that was tough to sit that one out. And then my senior year, I played a little bit. I definitely pitched the more than I played at first base, but which that was good. That was good. We made it to the championship, and we lost, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, our rivals were pretty good that year. So.
Wow, but you guys made it all the way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we had a lot of good players. Like a lot of guys that I played with are like there's a guy playing D1 right now, and a couple of guys playing D3. So it was definitely there was definitely a lot of guys better than me, which I'll be humble. And
that's cool though that you were on such like I didn't realize. I knew Canisius was like a high standard school for sports, but I didn't realize they were that good.
Yeah, it was really competitive. So and from there I was like, okay, like trying to like search for schools. Like I had this idea that I wanted to do like biology and like marine biology, and I wasn't like, I don't know, during high school I wasn't really sure like what I wanted to do, but playing baseball was always just like out of my radar. Like I was like, oh, like that was fun, but you were willing to let it willing to let it go.
Rest.
Yeah, but and I was kind of like searching schools like around Buffalo and out of state too that would like maybe have like the major I wanted, because I don't know, I just thought
biology.
Cool. Yeah, so I looked at like Ave Maria, that's kind of the big one, and schools around Buffalo, but I also Franciscan was also in the picture.
How did you become familiar though with the school?
Yeah, with Franciscan. Yeah, so I was homeschooled leading up to high school, and there's like a huge pocket of like Franciscan people in Buffalo, just like
yeah.
through the homeschooling group.
Yeah.
So it was always in my parents' radar, and I coming from like a Catholic upbringing, it was just always in the back of their mind, like leading up to college. So, yeah, like my parents encouraged me to apply for it, but discerning like where I wanted to go, like what I wanted to do, and it was actually I could have played baseball at Ave Maria, but I mean it's really competitive down there. Like I think they're a division above D3. The thing about Ave was, I mean, I'm sure it's a great school, but just like the fit for me there versus here was just night and day.
Did you went and visited Ave though?
I did, yeah. It was
Okay.
a nice campus.
How many schools did you tour?
I toured probably around 10 schools.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah, but
That's crazy. I literally toured 0, so it's always like funny.
yeah,
I always knew I was coming here. So
it's a wide range. Like some people like tour like Notre Dame and they want to get into Notre Dame and like, you know, Franciscan was their last option. But but yeah, the thing about Franciscan for me was I was definitely a little reluctant to come here because I wanted something else. I just had different desires at that time, but I mean, basically what it came down to was, I mean, financially it made sense to go here, and then kind of like God really like allowed me to enter into this place, and you know, he gave me the opportunity to play baseball, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll go with it, and yeah, it's been, I mean, almost all my junior years has been life changing.
So what was like the main aspect though of the school? Like was it the faith? Was it that you would be able to still keep playing baseball? Like was it just purely mostly just financial?
Yeah, it was obviously I mean, yeah, it's really just like the name that Franciscan is given through like the opportunity to grow in your faith, and also just like the community here is just insane. Like there's people here that I've met that have like completely changed my life.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to transition that. So describe your faith journey growing up, and then in high school maybe, and what that looked like, and then where you were at when you first came here, or what your ambitions were, what your goals were in general, and then how it shifted into maybe where you're at now.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. So yeah, growing up, like my parents are, I feel like this is kind of a common theme with a lot of people, but my parents were just like so like intentional and passionate about their faith. And they wanted to just raise a young, big family. And they, definitely, I'd say like being homeschooled, they kind of took on, initially being homeschooled, they kind of took on like the responsibility to hand on the faith, like the teachings of the faith. So yeah, I'm really grateful for like the foundations that I've received from it. And yeah, kind of throughout like middle school, I started going to youth group. I feel like a lot of people go to youth group, but
it's the best.
Yeah,
I kind of miss it actually.
Yeah, no, it's pretty electric. But yeah, I feel like my time in youth ministry, like going to youth group, was really where I like first experienced the Holy Spirit and like the Lord.
When do you think that would have been?
About like 7th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. Specifically when I went to Life Team Camp.
Oh, okay.
Georgia. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you still do that, right?
I was a summer missionary last summer.
It was last summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that time in youth group, just like experiencing the Lord like personally for the first time, and then like just like going throughout high school, it's just like going to an all boys high school, and there was definitely some moments, not moments, but just like my time throughout high school, it was just easy for me to conform to a lot of just like, you know, like secular ways of just living, and even just like not becoming like passionate about like the faith anymore. Obviously, like, just going to mass still, but and I stopped going to youth group in high school too. Okay. So I think like before coming to Franciscan, I was at a point in my faith where I wasn't like really like 100% like dove into it. Which
you didn't like reject it, right?
No, not at all. I still knew it was important, especially like the morality. But I didn't really have this like personal like relationship with the Lord, which like I feel like coming to Franciscan, it was like uncomfortable because I knew that I was like, wow, like this is such like a holy place, and I'm like in such a different spot. But and that's kind of how I was living my freshman year, just like kind of like distant from the Lord. So like obviously going to mass and not rejecting it, but just like but the thing that's like special here, and I'm sure like you've seen this too, is just like the people that you meet are, especially like alive in their faith. They're just like they like stick out, and they just have like something about them.
A joy.
Yeah, like a joy and like this life, and I saw that like at the end of my freshman year, and it was just like really life changing, and I knew just like there was something there for me that these people have, and I just really wanted to pursue that.
What do you think? Like, what do you mean by like you saw it? Like you were just wandering one day and you saw these people that had the light of the Lord.
Well, I think especially people that I was like close with. Like there's a guy on the baseball team. He was a senior when I was a freshman. His name was Brendan, and the way Brendan Berg.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's still like such a huge model in my life, but
do you still keep in contact?
I do, yeah. But I really got to know him my freshman year, and he really was intentional with me, and just like I saw the way like he was such like a good man, and he was such like a holy man, and I was like wow, like I really want to be like that, you know. So yeah, that's kind of an example of like the things I saw in these people that I met.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I wonder, like, do you think that was a little different from previous baseball teams you've been in your life?
Totally. Yeah, totally. I think there really wasn't any like authenticity, especially with the faith, and like especially like my freshman year, that was like, whoa, like these guys like care a lot about playing baseball, but they also care a lot about like their own lives and like being good people, you know, good spiritual people. So that's something I learned like my freshman year that as like a junior now, I'm like really trying to like pour out into like the younger guys and show like we're playing baseball, but there's just like a lot more to it than, you know, succeeding on the field.
I'm kind of interested to know now, like, what is the culture of the team like for the baseball team now, as opposed to how it was back when you first came? And then what is it like being, like I said, among one of the older guys on the team?
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know this, but the baseball team actually just got reinstalled around like 2020, 2021. So there was between 2011 and so about for like 8 or 9 years, there was no baseball team at Franciscan. Yeah. So there was definitely like the culture wasn't really like set, and there wasn't like this huge like this is our identity. So coming into my freshman year, like there's a lot of older guys like that have played like the first 2 years of the program being back, and guys that have seen success, and like I know my freshman year we were like really successful. So it's just like we didn't really have an identity, and kind of the culture was just like, you know, the younger guys were like kind of separated like from the older guys. It just was like really wasn't like a lot of losing a lot, and you know it's like people get frustrated. But yeah, then like
do you think that reflected in the team like morale being together?
Yeah, I'd say so. But a lot of guys got along really well. There's still a lot of guys like my freshman year that I'm friends with. So. But then like last year, it was definitely we were starting to form like this like culture and identity of like, okay, this is like, you know, like the ways we want to succeed. But it was still kind of like a rebuild year. I don't know, like a lot of times teams have like rebuild years.
Yeah, of course.
We're getting like new guys in, and we're still trying to like figure out like you know who wants to be here, who wants to you know really devote their time to playing. There's still like some things we had to shake out. You know, like and definitely for me, I saw more of like the faith becoming more prominent, especially carried into this year, which I think this year our culture and our identity has just kind of it's been flourishing, and that kind of starts with kind of the guys in leadership, like a lot of the seniors. They kind of created this this like covenant, if you will.
Interesting.
Yeah, of like
describe that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I really do like it though, because it's like kind of set in stone and paper of like this is kind of the way we want to have our standard of playing. Because I mean, we don't want to be known as like losers anymore. You know, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, like the baseball team is like they lose a lot, and we're trying to like set the standard of like
it's like Moneyball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we wanna succeed, and a lot of it kind of starts like with keeping guys accountable of like, you know, doing what you need to do like on the field, also just like being a good teammate. And yeah, especially this year, I've seen a lot of like the faith really flourishing. Yeah.
So like the character of the individual guys is something that's talked about a lot. It's kind of like
yeah, and I think that's really been honed in this year, and a lot of guys are buying into each other, like playing for each other.
Yeah.
We're really this year I've seen just like a lot of guys want to pour into each other and kind of become invested with like the whole team. And I mean we've already played about like 9 games or so, and we've kind of stuck with some good teams. So yeah, I think kind of the culture surrounding our team has just become more focused on like, okay, like we want to be successful.
That's good.
And I think it's definitely really cool, like seeing where like the team was my freshman year until now. It's been really neat.
No, that's got to be really exciting, I imagine. Yeah. There's got to be a sense of pride in that.
Yeah. Like I feel like we can really win again. That's really nice.
That's gonna be sweet. I hear you have some sort of interest in cooking, baking. Is this true?
It is true.
I heard that. I kind of got pretty excited because first of all, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn the ropes.
Yeah. I am very. Not a lot of people know this about me. I'm very interested.
This is a deep cut.
Yeah, it is a deep cut. Not a lot of people know, but I'm very passionate about baking. Very, very passionate.
Okay, well, tell me about that. Where does it come from? Since when?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I gotta acknowledge the roots. It definitely came from my mom. My mom was a really, really, really good baker. I mean, she like the banana bread.
Banana bread, it's the
banana
best.
bread.
You agree it's the best?
Oh yeah, it's
in my opinion, there's no better baked good than banana bread.
Yeah, banana bread is like, if you make a good banana bread, it's
top tier.
It's top tier. Yeah.
Good.
And it really, my investment really came during COVID, because I just had a lot of time on my hands. I was like, wow, like I want to bake something really cool. Yeah. So the first like difficult thing I made was it's like a French cookie. It's called a macaron. I don't know if
yeah, of course. Yeah, those are hard to make.
Yeah, right? They are. Yeah, and
because you got to get to like fluff up right or something.
Yeah, the shell. Yeah, they're very hard to make. But I was able to kind of master it, and
really,
yeah, I kind of just fell in love with just like making really cool things and things that I like.
Would you do them all like different colors and stuff?
So I would try to do different flavors. So I did like lemon, raspberry, pumpkin, cookies and cream.
Hey, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah, and like a couple other like I learned how to make like chocolate croissants. I don't know if you ever see those around, and banana bread. I love making banana bread. Just like eclairs. I love the French. The French kind of cuisine.
French? Did you go to France?
No, I didn't.
What? That's the French cuisine, especially for baking.
It's hard to beat. Yeah, so I love baking. I love sweets. I love chocolate. Yeah.
Do you still bake consistently?
When I'm at home, I do. I'm able to kind of dabble. When I'm at school. Been making a lot of banana bread.
Do you live in the Heights?
I don't. But
are you still in the dorms?
Yeah, but my girlfriend's got a house, so I'm able to kind of chef up over there and make some good stuff.
It's kind of a really cool. I think it's cool that you use the COVID time to learn a skill.
Yeah.
Did you consider ever doing culinary school?
I did.
And what? Tell me about that.
Yeah.
At what point in your life was that?
Yeah. So this is a really deep pull, actually.
We got our sources.
Yeah. There's actually 2 schools I was looking at. There's a school in Niagara Falls, and then there's a school out in New York. It was kind of more west of New York or east of New York. It's called the Culinary Institute of America. And that school was like, it was like way too expensive.
Oh,
And
really?
the other school was like, well, do I really want to make this, what it boiled down to was, all right, is this more of a hobby, something I like to do? So, yeah, I guess like the vocation of being a professional baker kind of fizzled out. But
It'd be kind of cool though.
yeah.
Would you wear a hat?
I don't know what they would wear.
A baker hat?
Yeah, I mean, but
They wear those. They wear
Yeah.
the white.
yeah,
Am I making that up?
the white.
I'm thinking like Ratatouille.
Yeah. The thing about being like, I enjoy it so much, and I'm like content with like I'm gonna have like a different job, and I like would love still want to do that. It's just like on the side. Yeah.
That's kind of. I was pretty excited to ask about the baking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy, for coming on the show.
Yeah.
I'm Conley Cowan, and this is Behind the Baron.